Hello, Movie News Cast family, and welcome back to the channel. In the past 24 hours, we've received the heartbreaking news of the loss of some truly remarkable individuals. Today's episode is a tribute to their incredible legacies. Phil Lesh, co-founder and bassist for the Grateful Dead, has died. His official Instagram account announced Friday. According to the update, Phil, who worked closely with late frontman Jerry Garcia for 3 decades, passed away peacefully Friday morning surrounded by his family. The statement continued, "Phil brought immense joy to everyone around him and leaves behind a legacy of music and love. We request that you respect the Lesh family's privacy at this time." No cause of death was shared at the time. Phil had been involved with the band since its early days, when they were initially known as the Warlocks. However, he was the last member to join the band, before the group's name was changed to their iconic moniker, the Grateful Dead. In addition to Phil and Jerry, the OG members of the Grateful Dead included Bob Weir, Ron Pigpen McKernan, and Bill Kreutzmann. When TGD disbanded in 1995, Phil continued making music, launching Phil Lesh and Friends, a group dedicated to celebrating the Dead's work and other songs. The musician is remembered for his avant-garde sound and for being one of the greatest bassists of all time. He was 84. Rest in peace. Tragic news for the Cleveland Browns. Beloved play-by-play announcer Jim Donovan has passed away at 68 years old after a battle with chronic lymphocytic leukemia. The team announced the loss on Saturday, with owners Jimmy and Dee Haslam saying it is an incredibly difficult day for the organization. Donovan became the voice of the Cleveland Browns upon the team's return to the NFL in 1999 and held the role for 25 seasons. Despite the team's overall lack of success during his tenure, the Boston native famously maintained an optimistic approach to each game day. Donovan was first diagnosed with cancer in 2000 and underwent a bone marrow transplant in 2011, according to the Browns. In May 2023, he had a relapse of leukemia, which required more aggressive treatment. He stepped away from the microphone prior to the 2024 regular season to focus on his health. Donovan also served as a sports anchor for WKOIC for 39 years, before announcing his retirement this past May and making his last appearance a month later. His impact as the voice of the Browns for 25 years is immeasurable as he touched the lives of our fans each and every Sunday with his love for the Browns and his brilliance at his craft, the Haslams said. He will be greatly missed, but he cemented a legacy that will live on forever. The only thing that outweighed his love for this city and this team was the love he had for his family. Our thoughts and prayers are with his wife, Cheryl, his daughter, Megan, and everyone who was fortunate enough to call Jimmy family or friend. Donovan was honored by the organization this past September, being inducted into the 2024 class of Browns legends. Jim was 68. Rest in peace. DJ Clark Kent dead at 57 after 3-year colon cancer battle. Hip-hop luminary and producer DJ Clark Kent died on Thursday evening after a lengthy fight with colon cancer, his family confirmed today. According to their statement, the 58-year-old tried-and-true NYC native, born Rodolfo A. Franklin, passed away surrounded by his wife Keisha, daughter Cabra, and son Antonio, aka Mage. The family revealed Clark Kent quietly fought colon cancer for 3 years, but still managed to spread his love for rap throughout the globe, and asked for prayers and privacy as they grieved together. Clark Kent began his career in the 1980s as rapper Dana Dane's touring DJ, before going on to produce stone-cold classics for the likes of Jay-Z, Lil' Kim, Foxy Brown, and even the late, great Notorious Big. He scored production credits on Jay's Hot Commodity debut album, Reasonable Doubt, and was also considered a fashion czar in the hip-hop world, especially when it came to sneakers. Clark was 57, having celebrated his final birthday last month. Rest in peace. Rudy May, former Yankees pitcher, dead at 80. Rudy May, a former New York Yankees pitcher who once led the American League in ERA, has died at the age of 80, the club announced on Friday. While the cause of May's death isn't known, a report on social media indicates he was suffering from diabetes for a long time. May's passing comes just before the start of the most anticipated World Series in decades, featuring baseball's two biggest stars, Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani, from arguably the two most popular teams. In fact, the last time the Yanks and Dodgers played in the Dodgers, Rudy was on the Bronx Bombers squad. During the '81 Fall Classic, Mays pitched 6.1 innings, posting a 2.84 ERA, while striking out 5 batters in the series, which the Yankees eventually lost. Mays' career in the major leagues spanned 16 years, which included 7 with the Yankees, 7 with the Angels, 2 with the Montreal Expos, and 2 with the Baltimore Orioles. He finished with a career ERA of 3.46 in 535 games. Mays isn't the only passing the league is mourning. La's own Fernando Valenzuela passed away Tuesday night at the age of 81. Valenzuela won the NL Rookie of the Year and Cy Young Award in 1981, while also guiding the team to their 5th world title in their win over the Yankees. Rest in peace. Actor Ron Ely dead at 86, star of Tarzan TV show. Ron Ely, star of the 1960s TV show Tarzan, has died. This, according to a statement from his daughter Wednesday. Ely's daughter, Kirsten, tells TMZ he passed away at home at the age of 86 peacefully surrounded by family on September 29th, and went on to pay an emotional tribute to him in a lengthy IG post, remembering him as one of the greatest men to ever live, and a personal idol of hers. She says her dad always brought a wave of positivity with him wherever he went, saying his life story was one of relentless perseverance to do what was right, adding she's doing her best to walk in her father's footsteps. Kirsten says she's comforted by the knowledge her father has been reunited with her mother, Valerie, and her brother Cameron. Ron started acting professionally in the late 1950s, but it wasn't until 1966 when he got his big break, playing the titular character on the Tarzan TV show across 57 episodes from 1966 to 1968. His other credits include Wonder Woman, The Love Boat, La Law, Doc Savage, The Man of Bronze, The Friend Who Walked the West, and multiple other Tarzan projects over the years. Ely wrote a pair of novels in his later years as well. Ely's life was upended in 2019 when his son, Cameron, reportedly suffering from the early stages of CTE, stabbed his mother, Ron's wife, to death. Cameron was then shot and killed by Santa Barbara County Sheriff's deputies. Ron sued the department the following year, claiming the deputies did not try to render medical aid as they should have after Valerie was stabbed and Cameron was shot. Ron was 86. He's survived by Kirsten and his other daughter, Caitlin. Rest in peace. Baywatch star Michael Newman dead at 68. Michael Newman, best known for his role as lifeguard Mike Newman on Baywatch, has died, 18 years after being diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. He died from heart complications Sunday night, surrounded by family and friends, with the tragic news confirmed Tuesday by his friend Matt Felker, who helmed Hulu's recent Baywatch documentary. Matt told People, "I got to see Mike the last time he was conscious, and he looked at me and in typical Mike fashion said, 'You're just in time.'" Felker also posted a lengthy tribute to Michael on his IG. Michael Newman was a staple on the iconic 90s California Beach show, appearing in 150 episodes, the most of anyone in the cast, except David Hasselhoff. He was famously the only cast member who was a real-life lifeguard, and he also worked as a firefighter, juggling both jobs while starring on the show. After Baywatch wrapped up in 2001, he went back to firefighting full-time, until his retirement. Michael was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease at age 50, and his journey was highlighted in Felker's After Baywatch Moment in the Sun. He told People in August his battle with the disease had given him plenty of time to reflect and brought him a lot of wisdom. He spent the last 5 years working with the Michael J. Fox Foundation to raise money for Parkinson's research and find a cure. Michael is survived by his wife Sarah, their kids Chris and Emily, and their 1-year-old granddaughter, Charlie. He was 68. Rest in peace. Michael Malone dies. Writer and TV business trade reporter, was 55. Michael Malone, who covered the TV business for nearly 2 decades at broadcasting and cable, and also wrote books and contributed to the New York Times, has died. He was 55. Malone died October 19 at Memorial Sloan Cancer Center in New York after a long illness. Widely known in TV industry circles, especially in the local broadcasting industry given his long tenure at B&C, Malone began his career there in 2005 as a reporter and rose to editor. He eventually was promoted to content director of B&C and its corporate siblings Multichannel News and Next TV. In online remembrances, former colleagues recalled Malone's implacable wit and command of words. He often would draft headlines and cover lines for stories, crucial elements when print magazines ruled the media roost and could help define the personality of the trade publications landing on senior executives' desks. A 5-time finalist for the Jesse H. Neal Award for Excellence in Journalism, Malone also contributed as a freelancer to the New York Times, the Los Angeles Times, the Boston Globe, and New York. He authored several books, both novels and nonfiction. While local broadcasting was his initial focus at B&C, Malone broadened his focus in recent years and covered programming, becoming a member of the Television Critics Association and attending its semi-annual press tours. He also hosted 2 regular podcasts. Tom Jerial dies. ABC News correspondent and anchor, was 89. Tom Jerial, a former anchor and correspondent for ABC News who became a mainstay on the news magazine 2020, has died. He was 89. Jerial's family announced his death on Thursday. ABC News reported. Jerial joined the network in 1965, covering the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. and later the Richard Nixon and Gerald Ford administrations as chief White House correspondent. He later anchored the network's weekend newscast and was a correspondent on 2020, the network's news magazine that was introduced in 1978. Per ABC, Jerial won 6 Emmy Awards for his reporting for the show. He called a report on children in Romanian orphanages the great, defining moment of my career, the network said. Geraldo Rivera, who also was a correspondent for the show, posted on X. He was an excellent, award-winning reporter and gracious colleague on 2020, a true gentleman. Jerial is survived by his wife, Joan, and 3 sons. Sarah Dancer dies. Naked and Afraid star, was 34. Reality veteran Sarah Dancer, known for her appearances on Discovery Channel's survivalist series Naked and Afraid, died October 22 following an October 20 car accident in Kahala, Hawaii, according to local TV station KSLA. Citing a police report, the station said Dancer was a passenger in a car whose driver lost control and smashed into a parked vehicle. The driver, as well as one of the people in the parked car, were also hurt and hospitalized in serious condition. Dancer was taken to the hospital in critical condition and passed away 2 days later. A Colorado native who had lived in Hawaii for more than a decade. Per KSLA, Dancer appeared in Season 8, 2017, and Season 11, 2020, of Naked and Afraid, as well as Season 4, 2018, All-Star Edition, Season 6, 2020, and Season 7, 2021, of Naked and Afraid XL. Alan Sachs dies. Welcome Back, Kotter co-creator and Disney Channel producer, was 81. Alan Sachs, known for co-creating Welcome Back, Kotter, and producing several Disney Channel projects, has died. He was 81. The producer's wife, talent agent Annette Van Duren, tells Deadline that Sachs died Tuesday morning in New York City after his mantle cell lymphoma took an aggressive turn in recent weeks. It was treated for him to dance at our daughter's June wedding and walk her down the aisle, she said. After that, the chemotherapy stopped being effective. He started hospice last week. He died peacefully listening to Tibetan music for the final few days and nights at age 81. Actor Robert Rusler, who starred alongside Josh Brolin in the 1986 sex-ridden skateboarding romance Thrashin', remembered the writer, producer, teacher, and connector of people in a statement on Instagram. Listing some of his standout credits, Rusler noted, "Where I got to know him from was working with him on the movie #Thrashin'. Alan was the creator of the #Daggers and #Theraplocal. He, along with Paul Brown, wrote the screenplay and lived the dagger life every day on set. Alan lived his life like a dagger every day since. He was an OG punk rocker." Michael Kelcourse dies. Patricia Altschul's beloved butler on Southern Charm was 71. Michael Kelcourse, the endearing butler who worked for Patricia Altschul on Southern Charm, has died. He was 71. In a social media post, Altschul mourned Kelcourse, who died on Tuesday, October 22, in Sarasota. "It is with great sadness that we announce the peaceful passing of our beloved Michael, who left us yesterday morning in Sarasota," Altschul wrote on Instagram. More than just a devoted butler, he was a trusted friend, confidant, and member of our family for over 20 years. She continued, "Michael's time on Southern Charm endeared him to many, as his humor and kindness quickly made him a fan favorite. Over the past 2 weeks, he was deeply touched by the incredible number of cards and well wishes from fans. I've been told there were hundreds, and they brought him immense joy during his final days." Kelcourse died due to complications related to a spinal cord injury and a stroke. A page set up at Corinne Bridge to share health updates on Kelcourse said, "In the years following Michael's February 2021 spinal stroke, he remained extraordinarily good-natured about the cruel twist of fate. As hope of recovery dwindled here, Michael focused on blessings there, a profound inspiration for all who crossed his path." Altschul's son Whitney Subler-Smith also paid tribute to Kelcourse, calling him a true legend and saying he will be missed. Dick Pope dies. Oscar-nominated cinematographer and longtime Mike Leigh collaborator, was 77. Dick Pope, the veteran British cinematographer best known for his decades-long collaboration with legendary filmmaker Mike Leigh, has died. He was 77. The British Society of Cinematographers confirmed the news Tuesday with a statement. "It is with deepest sadness that we learn of the passing of our friend and colleague Dick Pope, BSc." The statement read, "Dick had a reputation for being a wonderful collaborator and someone who was passionate about the art form of cinematography. He was keen to embrace new technologies and ideas, while also ensuring the skills and crafts of those that came before him weren't lost. To this end, Dick would guest tutor at schools, such as the National Film and Television School." Other directors Pope worked with include Baroness Beeban Kidron, Mike Newell, Christopher McQuarrie, Barry Levinson, Richard Linklater, Gurinder Chadha, Chiwetel Ejiofor, and Edward Norton. Pope's last credit is Leigh's latest feature, Hard Truths, which debuted at this year's Toronto Film Festival. In a recent interview with IndieWire, Leigh said that Pope had undergone major heart surgery just before they started shooting the film. Kim Soo-mae, Korean star of Late Blossom, Barefoot Kebong, dies at 73. Kim Soo-mae, a veteran female actor who had been active in the South Korean film and TV industries for over 50 years, died on Friday. Korean media reported that Kim was found unconscious at her home in Seoul and was transported to Seoul St. Mary's Hospital at 8 a.m. Friday, Korean local time. There she was pronounced dead in an emergency room. The media reports point to cardiac arrest, and the Yonhap news agency reports that police are investigating the circumstances. In May this year, Kim was hospitalized and temporarily halted her acting activities due to fatigue. She had been performing in musical My Mother at the time. Kim, whose name can also be written as Kim Mi-soo, was born on September 3, 1951. That would make her 73 years old at the time of her death. Korean society has long operated alternative ways of expressing age, and many local media reported her as being 75. Kim began her acting career at MBC TV in 1971 and played in hundreds of TV shows and feature movies. Among her most prominent was her role as a significantly older woman in the popular Country Diary series, which ran from 1980 to 2002. It earned her the grand prize at the MBC Drama Awards in 1986. Her film roles included 2011 comedy drama, Late Blossom, which earned her a Blue Dragon Award for Best Supporting Actress, 2005 comedy adventure film, Mapato, 2006 comedy drama, Barefoot Kaibong, and as a recurring role in the Marrying the Mafia film franchise. Chuck Norris gave up his career and nursed his wife for 5 months. She couldn't articulate and swallow. In his heydays, Chuck Norris was that hardcore action movie guy whose rough-around-the-edges film roles somewhat reflected parts of his real life. However, fans saw the softer and homelier side of the classic actor's life when his wife, Jenna Norris, fell ill. Jenna's illness took a heavy toll on her life, but Chuck never left her side. Here's more information about the long-term and happily married couple's marriage. Classic action actor Chuck had a good run in Hollywood during his most active years, and his wife was right by his side. The Walker, Texas Ranger actor and Gina, a model, tied the knot in 1998. 2 years into their marriage, the couple became parents to a set of twins. The pair were their first children together, as they too had children from previous relationships. Chuck continued to thrive in his career with his television show, Walker, Texas Ranger, which was a great success. Sadly, a dark time was around the corner. In 2013, Jenna visited medical practitioners, where she underwent scans to diagnose rheumatoid arthritis. Before the MRI scan, the star's wife was injected with a contrast agent. The injected substance was supposed to create contrast in her organs so doctors would have a clearer outline and detect irregularities. During an interview, Jenna narrated her ordeal, stating how she demanded to know if the contrast agent was safe before it was applied, and the doctors replied in the affirmative. Chuck's wife also recalled that it was more than one test. She pleaded with the doctor to take all the tests in one day. However, the medical professionals insisted they had to be on different days. Jenna had to go in for 5 or 6 nights in a row and mentioned that she felt different a few days later, but it was not a severe after effect, so she did not give it much thought. The actor, who appeared in the same interview as Gina, relayed that he did not leave her side and read 17 books to her on her journey through recovery. One thing that kept the actor's wife going was her vow to stay alive so she could raise her youngest children. Jenna's treatment revealed that the gadolinium, which was supposed to have left her body hours after her MRIs, had remained in her body at shocking levels. In a 2017 joint interview, Chuck confessed that his whole life is dedicated to ensuring his wife is as well as possible. Speaking about how he felt about the ordeal, the star admitted, "It was scaring me to death. Nothing's going on here. She's dying right in front of me." Chuck and Jenna were not about to sweep things beneath the carpet following the ordeal. The pair sued several health companies in connection to the gadolinium-based MRI that caused her pain.